Okay, so first question that comes to mind for me, Ronnell, that I wanted to ask you, and feel free to answer this as much or as little as you want. This might be a little bit of a polarizing question, but so my perception, I'm a HAFA member now. I'm one of your biggest fans. I love what you're doing, and I think the reason why we hit it off so well is because I haven't always been politically correct myself. So I kind of like your style. We kind of are cut from the same cloth in that way. But, for many years, and I don't mean this to offend, not to you, but like to who I'm about to reference here. I have seen, just personally, just getting to know you, so much action on your part and on HAFA's part that I've kind of wished other groups would be doing for years. Not saying that they're not doing it, but like, I don't think if they are doing it, I don't think they're doing as good of a job as communicating it as you are, and really being willing to put themselves out there and call things out for what they are, and really pursue these meetings. And like, I might not get invited back to another event. I'm going to take the risk. NABIP is the first one that comes to mind for me. Like, I've had my back and forth with them for years. I made a comment. I'm trying to remember what year it was. Glenn would probably remember. He had a heart attack doing a show with me. But I said something on the lines of, first or second final rule comes out, and I said, I'm like, what are they doing? I'm like, where's my membership fee going? What's it for? That's kind of what I said. I got pounced on by the NABIP community.
Before NABIP was even NABIP.
Yeah, they were not NAHU back then. But
NAHU, yes.
And, right. I'm not asking you to trash them or anything like that, but like, just simple question, do you feel like some of these other groups could be doing more?
Well, realize that I was a lobbyist for LAHU, okay, back in the day. And that's the reason I started HAFA, was because there was a bill in Louisiana that said agents or brokers are not going to be paid any more commissions. And I went to NAHU thinking, oh, good, I'm ready to go to the Capitol. I'm going to kill this. I'm ready to rock and roll. And that was different folks there at NAHU than are there now. So we need to make that distinction. They said, Ronnell, you can't go to the Capitol. You can't say the word commission, and you can't fight. I said, okay, I quit. So within a week, we started HAFA, and we said, we've got to say the word commission because we have to fight. And since we have the new folks at NABIP, and since the other associations have started to watch HAFA, I'll be honest, we've started a coalition of working together. It's just baby steps. It's just started, because they're not going to act like me. They're not going to ever act like me. And that's fine, because we don't want everybody acting crazy. But, they are doing a little bit more. They're trying to be more aggressive. And they have asked me, which I've asked for 13 years, to work together. They asked me to speak in California, which I flew on my own dime. They asked me to speak in Texas, which I did in my own dime, and fired up the NABIP people. And you can be NABIP and HAFA. There's no reason why you can't be NABIP, HAFA, NAPA, Big IPIA. You can be because we all bring something different to the table. Those other folks have been around for hundreds of years. So sometimes they have, some more name recognition with the older people. But remember, new folks on the Hill, they have no freaking idea who anybody is. Maybe they know who an agent or broker are. And that's why when I bring in folks, more than anything, more than HAFA, I want them to know who the agent and broker is, that they are the liaison in their state that's going to help them with any questions they have, answers they have. So I do things absolutely different from anybody, and that's understandable. I have met and loved the new, I guess she's CEO. I keep forgetting what her title is. The new CEO of NABIP. Coolest lady ever. I know she's having some struggles because, she doesn't have an insurance background, but to me, that doesn't matter. I can sell Tupperware. I mean, I've sold insurance my whole life. You know that. If you can sell one thing, you can sell anything.
Absolutely.
So, do I think they're ever going to be like us? No. Do I have lobbyists on stand, being paid besides me? No. Do I have a staff? I have a part-time. So we don't have the, backing that everybody does, but we are somebody to be reckoned with, and people that have met us will never forget us. And the one thing that I do that I know no one else does, I know Nobody does. I hug every single person. So Senator Cruz, Senator Peters, everybody in every office, they did not leave before I said, I'm sorry, I'm a hugger. So they are going to remember, if nothing else, that crazy lady from Louisiana hugged me. So CMS doesn't matter. HHS, everybody. I was hugging Dean Moe so much that we have the greatest picture of him like doubled over laughing because I was squeezing him so hard that I'm like, I love you so much. But I just think that we have to show our love, and we have to be different. We have to be strong. They have to know why we're there. I listened to this other association tell me, the way that we approach a Hill visit is we go in and say, hey, what can we do for you? I was like, oh, hell no. I hope we can cuss on here. Oh, hell no.
Yes.
I have
Absolutely.
sometimes 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to tell you what I need, what my members need, what the seniors need, that they deserve an agent, what the ACA clients need. I'm going to tell you what we're doing at home, not, hey, what are you doing? What can I do for you? No, I don't care. I am there to be, to connect with them, let them know what we need, and then follow up with them and make sure that our people are helping them do what they need to do. One of the offices, we had a staffer that talked to us and said, I don't even know what plan to pick when I go, to pick my plan on the Hill. And one of the agents said, call me, tell every staff, every office, we'll help you. We're free. We will help you and we don't mind. And then therefore they'll tell people that call in their office, constituents, agents and brokers are a good deal. They'll help you. So whether we met with Democratic offices or Republican office, they were amazing. But I do think things are going to get better, Christian. I just think it might take a while. We have done some letter where we were all on, and I'll tell you the first experience, they sent a letter and said, hey, what do you think about this letter? I had our attorneys looked at it, made some easy changes. And they were like, we're not going to make any changes. So I'm not signing the letter then. What do you want me to do? Be your coalition friend to check off what y'all are doing? Hell no, that's not the way we operate. We're going to tell you what HAFA needs, because it's not always the same. So they came back and changed their stuff. I'm just going to say they changed it, and we all signed it. So it was a good thing. But until we all go to the table together, it's still going to be, tough for them. They need to get more involved. During the NABIP meetings, I had some of my members call and ask me to set up meetings for them while they were there because they didn't have enough meetings while they were there. They knew I could call and make a phone call and get them a couple of meetings like within seconds, which I did. So I think there's a lot to learn. I think there's a learning curve. I think there's a lot of old NABIP people that I used to work with that are watching, and they've told me, Ronnell, we're watching you. We know what you're doing. You're doing good things. We might not can tell you publicly, and that's fine. I don't need anybody to pat me on the back. But HAFA's doing phenomenal things. I mean, this group, and you are on the board, these people are the leaders of the industry. And I am so proud of them. And the white papers that we bring are written by members. I just can't say how much I love my people. I love my people.
I love it. I love everything about it. And I love you. I love what you're doing, and I love everything that I'm seeing. And, happy to be a supporter of HAFA in any way that I can. I think I've made that pretty clear. So, question I wanted to kind of ask next. Sorry, Glenn, I don't want to steal. I want to
No.
I know question hog.
Well, you said you had
We're
50
just staring at your ears. He can't even concentrate.
I'm mesmerized by your outfit, all of it. I'm soaking it in.
We'll soak it in because they're coming right off as soon as it's over. When we're talking about CMS, right? The Medicare side of things haven't been responsive, haven't been super, cooperative or warm and fuzzy, willing to have conversations. You might not know the answer to this, and that's fine if you don't, but have you heard anything about 2024 final rule? We heard a lot of things that, we heard from somebody, that was very involved in the situation on the show that said, by the end of March, they were going to have a court decision on last year's stay, basically on the final rule, right? Still haven't really heard much of anything. Like, do you have any insight in terms of where that's at, or is it just kind of in a black hole at this point?
I haven't heard anything new. When I was in California, I did meet with the lead attorney of integrity who took the lead on that lawsuit. Amazing lady. And she was very positive about it. However, I haven't heard anything lately. I think because of the new administration, everybody's, different. The attitude is different. The way they look at things is different. I would be surprised if it didn't fall in the favor of agents and brokers. Because I think that unless you're just totally against us and maybe insane because you don't know what's going to happen, I think we're finally in the driver's seat. It might take us a little while, but I think we're finally in the driver's seat. And I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of insane things coming out of CMS, because as soon as it does, we're going to know who to pop and who to keep talking to. So regardless if CMS comes out immediately with, hey, we're the person, we still have, Senator Cassidy, who is the chair of Senate Help, and he is the chair of Senate Finance Help. And he is one of my best friends in my will. We have so many people that we can go to that we don't have to go to CMS. Like on the ACA side, there was a time when Health Sherpa and CMS said the clients are theirs. Can't download them off their website. They're theirs. And I was like, oh no, those are ours. You would have never saw them if you wouldn't have, if we would have put them here, hello. So
yes,
CMS nor Health Sherpa were helping me. So that same day, because you got to help me fast because this is happening, I called Senator Cassidy. Senator Cassidy, within the end of the day, reached out to CMS. Now, did CMS call me and had some ugly words for me? Yes, they did. But doesn't matter. It was fixed within the day.